Danke.
Okay, deutsche Übersetzung?
Ja, sehr. Der deutsche Übersetzung drauf, die kann man sicher gemacht. Und, ne? Wir lesen heute, we read from the Bhagavad Gita. We have even more guests who came who don't speak German, so we chose to speak in English. It's easy. So we read from the Bhagavad Gita, and we are in the 9th chapter, chapter 9, verse 22. And I just say the Sanskrit, and then we can read the verse. This chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is quite special. It's called the most confidential knowledge. So if you want to know something which is like really special, something which is really deep and confidential, then you go to the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and you will get all the secrets of life. They are all there in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I personally started reading the 9th chapter as one of the first chapters, and I couldn't understand anything. So, because it's confidential knowledge, maybe you need a little guidance in the beginning, but then you can read the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Maybe all on your own, it will be a little difficult, but with a little guidance, then you can understand. So we'll chant just one prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So it's verse 22, and it starts, Anayaschintayanto mam ye jana payupasate te sam nitya viyuktanam yoga kshema vaham yaham. So the translation comes as follows, and this is Sri Krishna. He's personally speaking to his friend Arjuna, and he speaks about himself. He says, those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. Quite a direct, very direct instruction from Krishna personally. So it's like a promise, so it's very nice. So we will read the purport. It's not a long purport, so we just read the purport and then we come back to the verse again. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day, being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord. Such activities are all auspicious and full of spiritual potency, which makes the devotee perfect in self-realization, so that his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. This is called yoga. By the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. Kshema refers to the merciful protection of the Lord. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga, and when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to a miserable condition of life. So we read the verse again. Anayash Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Parshati Tesam Nitya Viyuktanam Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Om Gyana Tiliranda Shakana Jana Shalakaya Chaksho Militam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Shravitam Yena Vitali Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadamikam Panchakalsharupyasya Kripa Sindhu Geva Chapatiganam Pavanam Vyo Vaishnavi Vyo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is a very special verse because Krishna, he's asking us for something and then in return he's giving us a promise. So it's like a very personal exchange. He's asking, you give me your full devotion. You meditate on my transcendental form. For us, now in modern days, we have to understand that at this moment, Krishna is standing right in front of Arjuna. So it's not that difficult for Arjuna to meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord, because he's standing right in front of him. So when Krishna, he tells that in the Bhagavad Gita, and we try to think, how can I do this for me? Krishna is not standing in front of me. This is not so easy. But we are so fortunate because Krishna, he has personally appeared in the form of the Acha Vigraha. So this is also Krishna personally standing in front of us. So we see Krishna on the altar in his representation as the Acha, as the deity form. This is not like a statue. Krishna has agreed that he personally comes in the form of the deity. When the deity is worshipped according to the proper standard, which is there in the scriptures, then Krishna, he will be there personally. We can go to Krishna, we can offer our prayers, we can meditate on his transcendental form. So Krishna has made it quite easy for us to actually come to the point what he is asking about in this verse. He is saying, exclusive devotion, that may be quite a difficult thing because we tend to give our attention or our devotion to so many things. You know, we spread it out thin. Everybody who needs a little bit of our care and devotion, we give everybody a little bit of our care and devotion. But Krishna is actually saying, you give all that care and all that love, you give it exclusively to me. So this may not be so easy. But the devotee on this platform, Srila Prabhupada, is actually speaking about a very highly elevated transcendentalist who is actually on this platform. This is how he's opening in the purport. He's speaking about that kind of person who cannot live a moment without serving Krishna, who cannot, his whole existence is about how to act in devotion to God. And then Prabhupada is mentioning these 9 processes of devotional service, which is all there for everybody of us. We can all engage in all of these processes of devotional service. But the point is here that we have exclusive devotion. If we have exclusive devotion for Krishna, then we will also have the realization how each and every soul which we encounter, even the animals, the birds, the bees, the trees, the flowers, everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. So if I love Krishna, I can love all of them also. I can love everybody. I can have this kind of universal love and service attitude to all living entities. So when Krishna is asking for exclusive devotion, it's not an egoistic kind of an ask. He asks us because it's for our benefit. If we can exclusively love God with all of our heart, then we will have love for all of God's creation, all living entities. So this is what he's asking. And meditate upon my transcendental form. This we can also do. It's not that difficult, especially if you come here to the temple and on a regular basis. You will see every time you come, it's just astoundingly beautiful. So you're attracted to Krishna because of his beauty, because of how beautifully the altar is decorated, how nicely the garlands are made, and like that. So you can very easily be attracted to the form of Krishna. And we have even in the community here, also for all the guests, there's a link outside on the door, and if you scan that link, you will have on your phone, in a WhatsApp group, you will have on your phone every day the darshan of Radharani. So it happens that you may forget Krishna one point in the day, and then boom, and you have the whole altar, how it was decorated on that particular day, on the same day it comes. And it comes at different times, so you can never say at 12 o'clock, always I will have the darshan. It comes at different times, so it's always very inspiring. So it can help us to meditate on the form of Krishna. You have to scan the code outside, you will have your personal darshan every day of Shri Radharani. So I can recommend it. It's very sweet. Like yesterday, it was so beautiful. There are so many pictures out there. Sometimes you have to, because the phone only has a certain capacity, so you have to delete some of them at one point. But like yesterday, when I saw yesterday, I will never delete these ones. This is so special. So this is, we can meditate, we can appreciate, we can get our love fixed on the form of the Lord and on his. We have his form, but we also have, and this is quite amazing. It's quite astounding. In this age, one form of the Lord is the form of the singing, the chanting of the holy name. That's also the Lord. Especially in this age, we have a very special blessing because of the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he taught how that through the chanting you can become completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. You chant on your beats, or you come together and sing like we were just doing, and then Krishna's form, he will be there within your consciousness. He is not different from his name. He is his name. So when you sing and chant his name, he will be there for you. You can, like Vasudhi was saying, he was reading some small points. He was saying how you can he's completely accessible to you. You can have direct connection through the holy name. So this is also a form of the Lord. So when Krishna says, meditate on my form, on my transcendental form, this is also a form of the Lord. So, and then he says, for such a person, I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. So, within life, we are very attached to all the things we have. We don't want to lose anything. So Krishna is saying, I will protect whatever, I will preserve whatever you have, I will protect that. And the things we lack, we are very eager to get it. We want very much, we have a desire, oh, I'm missing this, I'm missing that, I want very much. Krishna says, I carry what you lack, I preserve what you have. So this could be kind of like understood in a very materialistic way. For Prabhupada, when we read the purport, in the end of the purport we were just reading now, Prabhupada, he is making the point that the things that Krishna, he carries what we lack, it's more on a spiritual basis. He carry our lack of understanding. He carry our lack of dedication. He carry when we lack in some qualities which which will hinder that we come to Him, then He will help us with these qualities, that we become more of that kind of transcendental person. That is what He is. And if we have any good qualities on the spiritual path within our character, then He will keep them. And He will make sure that whatever advancement we have done within this life, we are not going to lose it. He will secure it. He will keep it for us. So, carrying what we lack and preserve what we have. So these are qualities. These are things that it's. If you go a little bit deeper, you will understand all of these things. They anyway come from God. So, but here He is just talking about it, so that we can get a bit a better understanding how these things are working. And there is a special guarantee. So the living entity is up and down in the material existence. And one thing which is very, very unique, that's when he gets the seed of devotion. Krishna consciousness is already within us. But when you come in contact with a spiritual community, like this community, with the spiritual master or with the books of Srila Prabhupada, then that whole seed-like Krishna consciousness will open up, will start to develop. It's like you're giving a seed of bhakti within your heart. And this is a very fortunate situation, because now, when you have this seed, you can develop it. It's like a seed of a plant. If you take care within your heart that it's kept in a very nice, clean environment, in very good soil, and if you water through the chanting of Hare Krishna and through the studying of spiritual literature, then, and also by good association, and we will serve also a feast of prasadam. And all of these things are watering the seed within our heart. And then the plant of bhakti will grow within us. So this process is a very unique process. It's not that you can find that process like on every corner, It's super unique. It's not, even in the highest institution of education within this country, they are not going to teach you how to cultivate your seed of bhakti, your seed of devotion to God. Nobody teaches that. So this is a very unique thing, and when you go home, you should think about it. Oh, I have this small creeper, this small plant within my heart. It has started to grow. I'm starting to develop my spiritual love for God. So I should kind of like protect that plant. I should water it, I should take care. I should spend some time every day. Here Prabhupada is speaking about this highly qualified person who he cannot, 24 hours a day, he's only doing things for Krishna. Maybe we cannot do that. Maybe our life is already quite full with all kinds of other responsibilities, but at least we can take some portion of this precious life and give our attention to devotional practices. And Srila Prabhupada, when he is speaking in this purport, he is saying that so being engaged in devotional service by hearing, this is what we do right now, but this you can do, you can always hear about Krishna, and if you cannot hear because you don't have anybody who can speak, then you can just read loud. If you take the Bhagavad Gita and when you read loud to yourself, then you also hear. It's very nice. Then the sound actually comes out and you can hear it. So this you can do. If you have nobody who can speak to you about Krishna, then you can read. And then chanting, that's also chanting you can always do. You can chant on your prayer beads, or you can chant just by singing. We have one cook, he just left now. But we have one cook, he always has the music on in the kitchen when he's cooking, but you only hear the music a little bit And what you really hear very loud is he's singing. He's singing while he's cooking. And you hear it not only in the kitchen, but in the next room and the next room and up the stairs. You can hear, oh, there's somebody, he's chanting, he's singing. So singing you can do, there is no limit, you know. And even if you cannot sing loud, you know, sometimes you have this tune which goes on in your mind, which you cannot get out. We call it like an earworm, you know. It's like you heard some tune and it's just keep going in your mind. So this you can also do. It's manasa chanting. It's chanting in the mind. So like if you're on the bus and you don't want anybody to know that you're singing Hare Krishna, you can just sing in your mind. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You just find a nice melody which you really like and you can just sing in your mind. No problem. Nobody will hear it. You will just have a very nice smile on your face. And you will feel very peaceful because you're singing, you're chanting, you're within the process of devotional service. So there is no limit how you can hear, you can chant. These are the first two processes of devotional service, and there's no limit how you can engage in these two processes. You can find some time within your own life and you just engage. And then we have remembering. If you hear something, maybe in the evening before you sleep, then you maybe think, oh, I heard something really nice about Krishna today. And then you try to remember what it was. If you come home tonight, maybe you try to remember one point from this class. And that's already a process of devotional service. It's called remembering Krishna. So this can be done also. It's maybe more easy for us to engage in remembering if we engage in hearing and chanting. Especially if we engage in hearing, because then we have some kind of like input of something that we can remember. So then it becomes a little more easy to start remembering. But the process of Smaranam, the process of remembering Krishna, this is actually a very strong process, because it's like within our minds, and we really put some you cannot remember. The interesting thing about remembering Krishna is that you cannot remember anything which is just like a big void. How you can remember a big void, you cannot. So as soon as you start going into the process of remembering, you're always you're already on the level where you understand that Krishna is a person. Krishna is a person who is doing things. So, and then you can start to remember. You remember how Krishna, he spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. How Krishna, he became the charioteer. He became the person who was driving the chariot into the battlefield. This is a very vulnerable position, because when you are driving a chariot, you cannot protect yourself. So Krishna, he was doing this service for his devotee Arjuna, who was a great warrior. And Arjuna, he was on the chariot fighting. And at that point, he was also very much dependent on Krishna. So this relationship, just by remembering, just by seeing this picture, you can remember how Krishna and Arjuna, how they had such an intimate relationship, that Krishna depended completely on Arjuna for his protection while driving the chariot. And Arjuna, he depended completely on Krishna for driving in such a way that Arjuna, without thinking where we are going, he could just concentrate on his fighting. So to actually come to the process of remembering, we have to have some kind of, we have to hear about Krishna as a person, hear about his different activities, and then it becomes much more easy to engage in this process of remembering. So these are like the first 3 processes. There are 9 processes of devotional service, but these are like the first 3. Then the 4th one, this is like a very universal process, because that's a process that's found in all religions all over the world. It's offering prayers. This is like in all religions. This is like a main. It's like a main activity of spiritual connection with God, that you offer prayers. So when Krishna is speaking here about I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. That could be like on a material level. In some cultures, some religions, you come and you beg to God, please give us our daily bread. This is like one of the prominent prayers in the Christian religion. Please, it's a longer prayer, but a part of it, please give us something. It's a give me prayer. So this verse you could also kind of like, okay, Krishna, when I do this, then he will carry what I lack and preserve what I have. We could also, with a false materialistic understanding, we could turn this little bit into a give me prayer, or this kind of understanding. But actually, Srila Prabhupada, he's speaking about how the devotee, he is eager to give to Krishna. He is not eager that Krishna gives to him. So all the different relationships with Krishna, most of them, when if not all of them, is a devotional service. It's how can I give service to God? It's not that I am expecting to have something in return. So this is very important. But the process of prayer, how it's found in the Krishna conscious culture, it's more. The prayer is more a prayer of offering glorification. The prayer is not so much what can I get, It's more a prayer. How can I see you with eyes of devotion? This maybe you can pray to Krishna like that. Oh Krishna, I come before you. I am not very qualified, but please, I want to see you with eyes of devotion. Please manifest before me so I can see you with eyes of devotion. So this is like the prayer. So there are many prayers. We have few prayers in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is offering prayers, but if you really want to get into lots of prayers, we have this whole Bhagavatam, which is like 18,000 verses, and many of these verses are prayers directly offered by great saintly persons or demigods or Brahma, Shiva, different great personalities. They are offering prayers to Krishna, and you may not want to offer that prayer word by word, but at least you can try to understand the mood in how this prayer is offered, and then you can offer prayers to the Lord. So then we have worshiping. That's very nice, because you come to the temple the first 25 minutes. When we come on the Sunday feast, there is on the altar, there is the arati going on. So there is worship. Somebody is here, the priest is here, she will be offering incense, flour, some dupa, some lamp. So all these different items will be offered, water, all kinds of different items will be offered. And this is worship. And we also on the Sunday we have just given everybody a small chance to offer a small lamp. So every Sunday we will end the program here, we will get up, we will sing, we will dance for some time, and everybody can come and offer a small lamp. So especially today, we would like to request everybody, because we have a girl in Holland.
Yeah.
Yes? Her name is Gori, and she is recovering from health scare. And so in this way, if we can, in our consciousness, when we offer our lamp, we can say, please Krishna, please give your love and support to Gori. So we can offer a lamp, we can offer it on behalf of ourselves, just as a worship, but we can also offer with a prayer for somebody else. So this is all these processes of devotional service. They are mentioned here. It continues because there are 9 different processes. Until now, I have only mentioned the first 5, 6, I think. But you go back to Bhagavad Gita, the 9th chapter, verse 22, and you read again this verse and this purport, and then you can see how actually there is a process for you also. How you can water your plant of devotion within your heart by engaging in the processes of devotional service. So maybe there are some questions or some comments on this point? Yes, maybe.
It's something you said in the beginning. Like it said, meditate on the transcendental form of Krishna, but if you don't know what this form is, how can you meditate on it?
Yeah, that is why we have, I told you, there is the form of Krishna is there, because he's there in the form of the deity. You can meditate on the form of the deity. That's not, you can see him with your eyes. That's actually one of the main reasons why Krishna appears as a form of the deity. It's because we are very, very, very limited and we cannot see the transcendental form. With our vision, our material senses, we cannot see the transcendental form of the Lord because it's transcendental. We have to have eyes of devotion to see a transcendental form. That's not possible maybe on our stage now. But Krishna appears as the form of the deity, so that with these eyes, which are very limited, we can actually see his transcendental form. So therefore you come, especially when you come and you offer your candle, you can really see. We usually, when we offer candles and flowers and things, we make we turn some small circles. So you see the form and you offer. So this is also like a meditation on the form of the Lord. Is there, or you can see, these pictures, they may be like a little bit, maybe too much, maybe not your style or something, but we have many pictures here of Krishna. So you can see the pictures of Krishna. You can see the picture of Krishna here on the Bhagavad Gita. This is also the form of Krishna. And then you have, of course, the form of the Holy Name. It's also a form. He comes in the form of sound. So you can meditate, just meditate on the sound of Krishna's name. It's also Krishna. Krishna's form, Krishna's transcendental form. So, and he comes in many forms like that. So he comes in the form, maybe one of the most beloved forms. He comes in the form of prasad, of food which has been sanctified. That's also Krishna's form. When you meditate on this nice samosa. But it's proper because therefore we usually we don't say we eat prasadam, we say we respect prasadam. We accept or we respect, we honor. Actually we say we honor prasadam. That's how we would, we would speak about the process of eating is like honoring prasad because it's Krishna, it's his form. Something else? So somebody has experiences with some of these forms, hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers. Somebody has some experience, maybe wants to share. I just give you as an example, you were outside. Because I told you somebody is singing a lot in the kitchen while cooking. This is a person. Very loud, he will sing his whole heart out while cooking. That's very, very nice. So the chanting can be done, at any time. There is no hard and fast rules for chanting. And if you cannot chant loud, you can still chant in your mind. It's still, Krishna will be there for you in your mind. You will also, you will have that, you will have all the benefits, and you can feel it. You know, even if you just chant in your mind. Of course, there is a description in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata. Haridas Thakur, he's speaking, one very special saintly person, he's speaking, and he's saying there are different kinds of chanting, and the chanting, the loud chanting of the holy name is the best of them all. Because when you chant loud, then you benefit not only yourself, but you benefit everybody else. You know, so if you walk in the forest and you sing very loudly, all the trees and the birds and everybody gets benefited from your singing loud. So, but according to time, place and circumstances, sometimes you cannot sing like he's singing in the kitchen loud like this. Maybe sometimes it's not possible. Social custom thing, you know. Then you can sing in your mind. Here everybody, you go somewhere else and you sing loud like that while doing something, people would think, you know, if somebody is painting the wall, like working like a normal work, and you sing loud like that, you know, okay, we accept him, but he's a little off, you know. That's not, it's not like normal. No, it's not normal. That is, who is doing some kind of practical work? Somebody doing some kind of practical work? Where you could sing at the same time? Somebody? You have, what kind of work you have?
At home.
At home, yeah. At home, you know, when you do the laundry and clean your place and like that, then you can sing. That's very easy. That's very, but if you have like official job, whatever, yeah.
I do in supermarket. I work in supermarket.
Okay.
And I arrange all the cookies and all. I sing Hare Krishna.
Best place to have care.
Yeah, so no one sings here. I just put cookies and I say Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe Govinda.
So it's what we have to just find ways how it's possible within our life. We have to find a place where we feel safe, but at the same time we can express. Yes.
Es ist kein persönlicher, es ist nicht eine persönliche Geschichte, sondern ich habe das von jemandem gehört, ein Maler, also der Gebäude streichen, und der hat immer dann erstmal ganz groß Hare Krishna gemalt und dann zugemalt.
Ja, man muss halt seine Wege finden. Ja. Ja. So, wir können jetzt eine Kerze opfern. Und es wäre sehr, sehr schön, wenn jeder einfach ein kleines Gebet für die Gauri noch mit reinlegen könnte. Und Krishna Chandra kann singen. Und wir räumen mal schnell alles weg, dass wir hier Platz haben zum Singen und Tanzen.